Hi everybody, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the government scheme session in which we cover the schemes that are important from the examination perspective. Alright, so recently the scheme was in news and देखो how to identify that if any scheme is important from the examination perspective or not. It is very simple to understand. Alright, if any scheme has been recently in news or have been recently launched, they become important from the examination perspective. Okay, and this particular scheme, it was recently in news, however there was no specific current development that has happened. It was just an announcement, or you can say just a speech of a minister in which the scheme was being said, and that is why we are covering. Because anyway, like the examination, if you look at it, no, they are being so unpredictable right now that even if the scheme has been said in a speech, it can be asked, right? So that is why we will cover about this particular scheme. But before that, here's an announcement for all the aspirant who are looking for the advice on the examination of central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you must be having regarding the organization that you would want to join. For example, if you want to know more about RBI, NABARD, SEBI, you can get all the information from these e-guidebooks. Along with that, about the recruitment process also, how many phases are there, what is the pattern of each phase, right? And all such questions have been covered here, along with the syllabus, cutoff trend, so that you have an idea like what is the examination level and what preparation you would have to do to get through the examination. And at the end, we have also given up an advice that you can follow if you're going for self preparation. So do not miss the opportunity. You can download these e-guidebooks which are free of cost from the description, from the link that is present in the description box below. I can see already. Good morning Fani, Sairam, and we have Dixon. Good morning, child of God, good morning. Alright, so let's start off with the scheme. ठीक है, तो देखो कृषि सिंचाई, कृषि it means farmer. Okay, सिंचाई means irrigation, right? So सिंचाई is irrigation. It is what? देखो, if you go for the definition of irrigation, it is the artificial application of water. Okay, when you artificially apply water into the field, that is known as irrigation. Why do you artificially apply? देखो, if you look for India, it is a rain-fed irrigation that is followed here. What is rain-fed irrigation? That whatever water that comes down in the form of rain, right, that is used for the irrigation purpose in India. But we know here we have a definite season, right? हमारा जो main season है July to September का, that is the main that is the monsoon season, right? And there's a abundant rain, right? But what if after the months, right, after the monsoon season, so what in such cases, right? One thing is this. Another thing that we were doing, that during this season we have abundant rainfall, we have abundant water, but then it get wasted, right? Because even the field have a limited capacity to hold water, right? So what happens under the scheme? First we have to do in such areas where water cannot water is usually not present, or there is lack of water, you can say, or yeah, there is less water that is present as much as it required by the crops. The first aim under the scheme would be to reach out water to those areas. Okay, so if this was a field and there was no water sources available there, and there was far end there was some water source that is available, the first aim under the scheme is to make this water available into the field so that the agriculture can be done. So first aim under the scheme is this. Another is that whatever water, extra water that is there in the field, and especially during the monsoon season also, and even the water that has been provided here in the field, that should be efficiently used, right? That should not be wasted. And whatever during the rainfall monsoon time period, the extra water we have to conserve that can be utilized for some other purpose. ठीक है, तो दो काम है. पहला काम तो क्या है? To provide water into the fields. Another is to save water also. Okay, so this is the main objective, and here we are going to look about the three irrigation system which is mainly focused on, and somewhere you are going to read this term. Okay, that is why we are going to understand. The first one that you are looking at, this is known as the surface irrigation. Surface irrigation means basically what? You have just discharged water into the field. Now you can also understand, or you might have observed, that even in a land, if water needs to be percolated means what? Penetration into the water, right? ठीक है, या infiltrate बोल देंगे. ठीक है, infiltration के लिए the water has to stay there for some time, right? Because in rainy season you must have seen, even if the water, it just keeps on flowing because it does not get the time to get into the soils regime, right? So this is the surface irrigation, but here the efficiency is not that much. ठीक है, then the government, or you can say not the Indian government, but yes, the world, they decided, and the scientists in agriculture, they decided to go for much efficient way, and they came up with the micro irrigation. ठीक है, अब micro irrigation में क्या होता है? Here we are using the water efficiently means whatever water that's being sent into the field, that is most abundantly utilized. For example, we have the first system, which is the sprinkler system. Here in the form of raindrop, as you can see, the water, it falls on the ground, so it is utilized by plant more efficiently. And similarly, the second one, this is a drip irrigation, very famous and important question of NABARD every year, like it's the favorite question. One way or another they ask you something about drip irrigation. ठीक है, drip irrigation में directly drop by drop the water is being provided to the roots regime. ठीक है, तो ये best it is situated where there is ड्रॉट काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन. ठीक है, वहाँ पे सिर्फ रूट्स लेवल में ये पानी दिया जाता है. ड्रिप इरिगेशन वी हैव टेकन इट फ्रॉम इजराइल. ठीक है, सो दीज आर सम सिस्टम्स दैट वी आर गोइंग टू यूटिलाइज अंडर द पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. ठीक है, अब ये स्कीम जो थी ना, द स्कीम हैज़ बिन रनिंग सिंस 2015, बट इनिशियली बिफोर दैट देयर वर मेनी स्कीम्स. ठीक है, तो आपकी एक अम्ब्रेला स्कीम है. एट दैट टाइम वट एवर प्रोग्राम्स वर रनिंग, फिर क्या करा था, इसके अंदर उसको मर्ज कर दिया था. ठीक है, तो ये स्कीम 2015 में आई थी. एंड सम ऑफ द स्कीम्स दैट वर ओरिजिनल, दोज वर इंडिपेंडेंटली बीन रनिंग, दोज वर देन merge into it. ठीक है, कौन कौन सी थी? एक्सेलरेटेड इरिगेशन बेनिफिट प्रोग्राम, इट स्टिल रन्स अंडर दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. इंटीग्रेटेड वाटरशेड मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम एंड ऑन फार्म वाटर प्रोग्राम. ठीक है, तो एक्सेलरेटेड इरिगेशन बेनिफिट, द फर्स्ट केस वी हैव टू एक्सेलरेट द इरिगेशन, वी हैव टू प्रोवाइड इरिगेशन इनटू द फील्ड. इंटीग्रेटेड वाटर शेड मैनेजमेंट, देखो वाटर शेड इज द एरिया वेयर द वाटर इट जस्ट गेट्स कलेक्टेड. देखो जस्ट लाइक एन अम्ब्रेला, नो, दिस इज एन अम्ब्रेला एंड इफ इट्स एन इन्वर्टेड अम्ब्रेला, ओके, कंसिडर इट टू बी एन इन्वर्टेड, तो इन्वर्टेड है तो यहाँ से होगा, राइट. इफ इट इज एन इन्वर्टेड अम्ब्रेला एंड यू आर जस्ट पोरिंग वाटर फ्रॉम एवरी साइड ऑफ इट, ठीक है, तो यू वुड रियलाइज इन अ while that all this water is getting collected. ठीक है, and it will get collected here. Similarly, in the natural environment, especially where the hilly regions are, topography are like such that whenever rainfall happens, or not even rainfall, even if the natural water bodies are there, these water, they just collected, they all get collected, and then now the new water, even these streams would be thin in nature, but then they get collected and now it will be larger water body with the water of which can be properly utilized. ठीक है, तो such areas are known as what? These are known as your watershed areas. Okay, because what we understood when we were understanding the introduction, that not only to reach out the irrigation but also to conserve the water, to utilize the water properly, this is also being taken care under the scheme. So that is why integrated watershed program, such management of these watershed areas where water is collected in the natural environment, its proper management will be done and this water can be utilized for irrigation purpose, right. And on farm water management, on farm का क्या मतलब है? For example, the case that we understood in surface irrigation, right, the water, it can just move outside the field without being getting utilized by the plants, right. So on farm also we have to go for more efficient system. How for example, what? Sprinkle irrigation, right. For example, next can be your drip irrigation, or even in the surface water irrigation now there is another type which is known as or a form of it which is known as surge irrigation. ठीक है, सर्ज इरिगेशन में क्या मतलब हुआ? इसमें क्या करते हैं? हेयर ऑल्सो यू प्रोवाइड वाटर ऑन द सर्फेस ओनली, बट फ्रॉम द पाइपलाइन दैट यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग ना, देयर इज सम टाइमर दैट इज देयर. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, सम वाटर इज गेट डिस्चार्ज इन द फील्ड, then the timer will stop the water flowing so that whatever water that is in the field it can infiltrate into the soil. ठीक है, then after some time दोबारा water छोड़ा जाएगा. ठीक है, so where if you look at normal in surface irrigation, only 40% of efficiency of water means the water efficiency is there. In case of surge irrigation it is somewhere around 85 to 90%. So you can see the huge difference, right. Similarly, from sprinkler irrigation, the water that you are giving in the field, out of that 70% will be around 70 to 75% will be utilized. और ड्रिप इरिगेशन में तो आपका 95 to 100% वाटर यूटिलाइजेशन हो जाता है इन द फील्ड. देखो ये जो परसेंटेज हम समझ रहे हैं, दीज परसेंटेज आर द वाटर दैट यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग इन द फील्ड एंड हाउ मच वाटर इज बीइंग एफिशिएंटली यूटिलाइज्ड. ठीक है, तो यू कैन सी द difference. So what we have to do, first of all, provide the irrigation to the field wherever in the natural environment the collection of water is being done in the watershed areas to properly manage that, and on the farm also whatever water is being provided to efficiently utilize that. ठीक है, अब ये सारी स्कीम हमारी मर्ज हो गई. ये जो अलग अलग चल रही थी, these were differently running. Now we have included everything under the कृषि सिंचाई योजना. All these components are now being run under it. ठीक है, तो launcher of this scheme, as Nishu is also asking and Ritika has already answered, yes, 2015 में it was launched on 1st July 2015, okay, when your kharif season starts. ठीक है, but what happened initially, this scheme was till 2020 only, okay, but then what happened in 2021, government they realized that okay, it's doing much of its work. Initially it was around 47-48% area in under irrigation. After that we had somewhere around 59%. I'm sorry, 49% area now comes under irrigation, but we have to increase this number, right? So because we have to increase this number, and somewhere this scheme was helping in that, that is why in 2021 it was decided that it should be extended till 2026. So currently, तो अगर if as launch year, you will say 2015 only, you would not say 2021, right? Because there it was extended, right? Launch year 2015, initially it was till 2020 only, but in 2021 it was realized that we still need some time, and that is why it has now been extended till 2026. ठीक है? Overall it falls under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. However, we will look at that the current components that there are, they are being handled by different departments. Okay, you have to keep in mind the merged schemes that we looked before. Okay, those were initially independent schemes that were running, and the work that they were doing is now being merged under this particular scheme. Okay, lekin there are components under the scheme which we will just look at in a while, which are being run by the different ministries. But overall, overlook who will take care of agriculture and farmers welfare. ठीक है, objectives simple है, we have understood everything. Now we just have to do a kind of revision. Objective क्या है? Enhance the cultivable area under assured irrigation. हर खेत को पानी. In Hindi we have this title. In fact, the motto of this scheme in itself, it is हर खेत को पानी. हर means every. Okay, in case you don't know Hindi, हर means every, खेत means your farm or field. Okay, को पानी, पानी means your water, to provide water to each and every field. That is the aim of the scheme. ठीक है? So because if you, for example, there is some land which can give much good productivity, it has all the minerals present in it, and soil texture is also good, everything is good, right? But the water availability is not there, right? So because of that scenario, the crops cannot be grown, right? So the first and if the water is provided, of course that area can be converted into cultivable land. Cultivable land means crops can be grown there. ठीक है? तो first aim objective is what? हर खेत को पानी, to provide water to each and every field. So ensure cultivable area under assured irrigation. ठीक है? And in the field, so once the water has reached into the field, what can be the second step? The second step is whatever water that has reached into the field, to use it in its full efficiency, right? For example, if in Rajasthan or Gujarat area, maybe in some of the region, if the government under the scheme is providing water into the field, they would promote more of sprinkle and drip irrigation instead of going for surface irrigation, right? Or maybe according to the areas, because वहाँ पे पहले ही पानी कम है, right? If there is already less water available, you cannot waste it, you cannot afford to waste it, right? So that is why once in the second step, now the water has reached into the field, it should be properly utilized. ठीक है? Enhance adoption of precision means वही कि precision means the exact water that can be utilized by the field, and this precision can be best used with our water saving technology, that is your drip irrigation. This is the best of your this is in fact drip irrigation is also known as your precision irrigation. ठीक है? More crop per drop. इसको उल्टा भी कहीं पे you must have read per drop more crop. Okay, so it means same only. So what we have to do, with every drop of water there should be more crop that we can get. That should be the aim. ठीक है? So whatever water is being given in the field, properly utilized. ठीक है? Ensure the integrated development of rain-fed areas. Rain-fed areas are areas where rainfall happens. Rain-fed means what? Where the crops are being fed, given what? Rainwater. ठीक है? तो integrated development का क्या मतलब हुआ? Watershed development. Right, so here whatever extra water that we get during the monsoon time, during the rainy season, to utilize, to make such infrastructure that this water can be stored and can be utilized later. ठीक है? Integrated development of the rain-fed areas, and of course even to aware, देखो, not everything government can do, right? So that is why under the program, I hope now these objectives are crystal clear. These are step-by-step process, you can understand, right? But at the end it depends on us also. So promotional activities which will help people to know about the water harvesting, how water can be stored, how water can be managed, and how can you have the knowledge that like which crop is suitable in your area according to the water availability. ठीक है? तो all these things are the objectives under the scheme. I hope it is clear till now. If you have any question, do let me know. ठीक है? And explore the feasibility and also whatever be the municipal wastewater that has been treated, how it can be properly utilized in agriculture, it is also one of the objective. ठीक है, अब tenure की बात करें, so we have already understood it has been extended till 2026. So of course it has been extended, so some money would also be required during this time period, right? So how much money will be given? ठीक है, इसमें क्या होगा आपका, as you can see, the budget has the overall financial outlay from 2021 till 2026 what has been, it's 93,068 crore अभी डिसाइड किया है, जिसमें कि सेंट्रल असिस्टेंट, देखो इट इज़ अ सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम. सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड का क्या मतलब होता है? द फंडिंग विल बी डिवाइडेड बिटवीन सेंटर एंड स्टेट. ओके, दिस इज वन थिंग, बट हेयर आई वांट टू क्लैरिफाई एंड आई विल मेंशन इट in the presentation afterwards whenever you get the PDF. देखो usually we have understood that in sponsored case what happens, center it bears your 60% of the money and 40% is being borne by the state government. But exclusively in this particular scheme, in their official notification, the division has been kept 75% and 25%. ठीक है, so 75% of the money will be given by center and 25 will be given by the state. ठीक है, usual के convention से अलग है. ठीक है, एंड इफ इट इज डिफरेंट, हायर चांसेस ऑफ बीइंग आस्क्ड इन द एग्जामिनेशन. ठीक है, इसमें सेंट्रल असिस्टेंस कितना देगा, सेंटर कितना कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा, 37,454 करोड़. एंड हियर द सम लोनिंग विल आल्सो बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय हेल्प विद द हेल्प ऑफ नाबार्ड. ठीक है, तो डेट सर्विंग टू नाबार्ड कितना है, 20,000 है अभी, और स्टेट कितना देगी, 35 के अराउंड स्टेट जो है गवर्नमेंट देगी. ठीक है, इसमें आई वुड से यू डोंट हैव टू गो फॉर इंडिविजुअल, इफ यू जस्ट रिमेंबर द ओवरऑल दैट वुड बी मोर देन इनफ, बट येस यू कैन रिमेंबर दैट हाउ मच परसेंट इज गिवन by center and state. ठीक है, टारगेट्स अभी देखो 2021 में it has been extended until 26, so of course there must be some targets that have been made which can be followed, right? So under that again the two things that we have to keep in mind, हर खेत को पानी, to provide water to each and every field. So for that what is the aim, that till 2026 we will create 4.5 lakh hectare of irrigation potential, means 4.5 lakh area must come, hectare area must come under the irrigation. Okay, and there is one more. Okay, another one is what, accelerated irrigation benefit. इसमें क्या है, coverage of cultivatable command area 30.23 lakh hectare. ठीक है, here आपको क्या इसमें क्या होगा, अगेन एरिया को अंदर में लाना. ठीक है, एंड द फर्स्ट केस वाज क्रिएशन ऑफ हेक्टर ऑफ इरिगेशन पोटेंशियल. पोटेंशियल मीन्स अगेन की टू इंक्लूड द एरिया वेयर इरिगेशन कैन बी मेड. ठीक है, कमिटीज क्या आपकी, दो कमेटी है, नेशनल स्टीयरिंग कमेटी, वी हैव नेशनल एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी. तो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड स्टीयरिंग विच विल डायरेक्ट, स्टीयरिंग से क्या होता है, यू गिव डायरेक्शन टू द कार, राइट? सो नेशनल स्टीयरिंग कमेटी व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल प्रोवाइड द डायरेक्शन टू द पॉलिसी, ओके, अबाउट द हाउ द फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ द प्रोग्राम दैट इज गोइंग टू बी. एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल इम्प्लीमेंट द फ्रेमवर्क. ठीक है, स्टीयरिंग कमेटी विल गिव द डायरेक्शन टू द पॉलिसी एंड नेशनल एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी विल एग्जीक्यूट और इम्प्लीमेंट इट एट द नेशनल लेवल. ठीक है, और उसके अंदर फिर स्टेट लेवल में स्टेट गवर्नमेंट वुड डू. ठीक है, नेशनल स्टीयरिंग कमेटी विल बी हेडेड बाय प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड योर नेशनल एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी विल बी हेडेड बाय चेयरमैनशिप, इट विल हैव द चेयरमैनशिप ऑफ वाइस चेयरमैन ऑफ नीति आयोग. ठीक है, तो ये आपका रहने वाला है. कंपोनेंट्स अभी करंटली कौन से हैं, accelerated irrigation benefit program. Now this will come under what, Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Simply देखो, if you are getting confused, let me just clarify, there are three components under it. ठीक है, every component will be taken care by some other ministry. Now accelerated irrigation benefit program will be taken care by Ministry of Jal Shakti. Simple as that, right? Now Ministry of Jal Shakti is also very big, so under that there is a department which is known as Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. तो जो ये specific department है, that will do the work of providing the to accelerate this irrigation beneficial irrigation potential across the country. ठीक है, next है हर खेत को पानी. अब देखो पहले तो you will make the infrastructure that will help to provide irrigation, right? You will make the channels वगैरह बनाए जाएंगे, canals you will make, right, from where the irrigation can be done, right? So first step is that will take care that will be taken care by the Ministry of Jal Shakti and under that the specific department, right? Now next is providing हर खेत को पानी. ठीक है, to have the to make the cultivable area. ठीक है, अब ये भी किसके अंदर आएगा आपका, Ministry of Jal Shakti के अंदर आएगा and under the same department, जिसके अंदर क्या किया जाएगा, command area development and water management will be done. Surface minor irrigation में ध्यान रखा जाएगा. What is surface minor irrigation? Minor irrigation means we are going for less areas. ठीक है, so any area which has potential potential less than 2000 hectare, those all fall under the surface minor irrigation. And जो भी आपका repair, rejuvenation, restoration that is required of water bodies, that will be taken into consideration. And finally groundwater आपका development होगा, ठीक है. Now here कंपोनेंट्स क्या क्या है, तो हमने दो कंपोनेंट समझ लिए. एक और थर्ड कंपोनेंट है वाटरशेड डेवलपमेंट कंपोनेंट. दिस वी हैव अंडरस्टूड, वी हैव टू मैनेज द एरिया, राइट, वी हैव टू कंजर्व द वाटर, एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपोनेंट विल बी टेकन केयर बाय द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ लैंड रिसोर्सेज, ठीक है. तीन कंपोनेंट है इसके अंदर. टू कंपोनेंट विल बी टेकन केयर बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति, ठीक है. और जो ये कंपोनेंट है वाटरशेड कंपोनेंट का, डेवलपमेंट कंपोनेंट का, दिस विल बी टेकन केयर बाय द लैंड रिसोर्सेज, ठीक है. बिकॉज वी आर हेयर, वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन लैंड, ठीक है, वी आर इंप्रूविंग द लैंड. की फीचर्स में बात करेंगे, आई विल करेक्ट दिस, ठीक है. की फीचर्स की बात करेंगे, वी आर डूइंग PMKSY, ठीक है. की फीचर्स में आपके आते हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हर खेत को पानी इज एप्लीकेबल ओनली इन द एरियाज हैविंग. नाउ वी आर सेइंग हर खेत को पानी टू प्रोवाइडिंग वाटर इनटू ईच एंड एवरी फील्ड, राइट, बट वी हैव टू गो थ्रू अ स्टेप बाय स्टेप मैनर्स टू द where it is required the most, right. So in the step by step manner will be done. So there are three categories on which on that basis we are going to, you can say, prioritize the areas, ठीक है. तो कहाँ पे अभी फिलहाल होगी, स्टेज ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर डेवलपमेंट इट इज लेस देन 60%, वेयर द ग्राउंड वाटर इज वेरी लेस, ठीक है. देयर इट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड. एवरेज रेनफॉल इट इज मोर देन 750 mm, ठीक है. एंड शैलो ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल, जहाँ पे दिस इज बिलो ग्राउंड लेवल, ओके. BGL इज व्हाट, योर बिलो ग्राउंड लेवल. सो बाय दिस यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट wherever there is ground water availability is very less, because if देखो what is ground water, if this is land, somewhere in below the land there is water that is present, right. Now if water that is present, it can be utilized in the field. So government at this moment they should not prioritize, or they can, if for once, keep it at low priority, because that land have the groundwater that is available, right. But in the places where even the groundwater is very less, there we have to, you know, from the outer area we have to provide irrigation into the field, right. So that is why the criteria has been set that which areas will be prioritized, and that we have already studied, ठीक है. Another key features include implemented in an area development approach, ठीक है. area development approach का अगेन मतलब है कि एरिया वाइज एरिया वेयर द डेवलपमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड, ठीक है. तो इस केसेस में क्या होगा, जैसे आपका अडॉप्ट्स डिसेंट्रलाइज स्टेट लेवल, ठीक है. तो मींस वेयर यू कैन से देयर इज डायरेक्ट इंटरेक्शन विद द सिटीजंस, ठीक है. तो अलाउ स्टेट्स टू ड्रॉ देयर इरिगेशन डेवलपमेंट बेस्ड ऑन डिस्ट्रिक्ट ब्लॉक. मतलब डिसेंट्रलाइज मतलब वट एवर ऑलरेडी स्टेट वाइज, डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज, what is best suited there, on that approach that will be done. So here the states have the liberty, ठीक है. थोड़ी liberty how to choose the projects and plans. State can take up projects based on the district state irrigation plan, ठीक है. तो हार्ड एंड फास्ट सेंट्रल का कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विल नॉट बी applied forcefully over the states. Whatever the best suited for state according to their topography, that is there, ठीक है. And all states and UTs including north in the eastern states are covered, ठीक है. We have given priority under हर खेत को पानी, that is to for sure. Basic you can understand where the water is below ground level, right. But rest apart, it's not, we are not doing any bias judgment on the basis of states or UTs, ठीक है. all the states, northeastern states, everything has been covered, ठीक है. and district irrigation plans and state irrigation plan according to whatever जो भी उनका चल रहे हैं, ठीक है, उसमें करे जाएंगे. for example whatever whenever district for long term development plans उनके हैं, keeping in mind water resources they have, distribution network they have, water use application, they can go for it, okay. and these district irrigation plan and state irrigation plan, they will be at ब्लॉक 2 लेवल, ठीक है, प्राइमरी और डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल में. एंड ऑल वट एवर स्ट्रक्चर दैट विल बी मेड, द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एज पर द स्टेट रिक्वायरमेंट एंड देयर ओन विल, एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू द डिस्ट्रिक्ट वट एवर बी द प्लान्स विल बी मेड, दोज ऑल विल बी जियो टैग्ड. एंड वन मोर लास्ट थिंग, देखो देयर वर इनिशियल 2 और कंपोनेंट्स, आपका ग्राउंड वाटर डेवलपमेंट भी आपका था, अब इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द स्कीम टिल 2020 इट वॉज देयर. आफ्टर दैट व्हेन 2021 इट वॉज एक्सटेंडेड, आपका जो 2 कंपोनेंट्स थे, एक वो और एक ये पर ड्रॉप मोर क्रॉप कंपोनेंट, नाउ इट हैज बीन एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम इट, ठीक है. अब ये जो है पर ड्रॉप मोर क्रॉप क्या है, विच वॉज अर्लियर अ कंपोनेंट ऑफ कृषि सिंचाई योजना, इज नाउ बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड सेपरेटली. मतलब कि इसको एक अलग से स्कीम बना दिया गया है पर ड्रॉप मोर क्रॉप कंपोनेंट को, ठीक है. नाउ दीज वर कुछ चीज़ें जो थी आपकी, ठीक है. सो दैट इज ऑल अबाउट इन द स्कीम. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, एनी क्वेरी, डू लेट मी नो, I'll answer that. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section, and if you want me to cover any scheme, do let me know. So that is all in this particular video. Okay, thank you everybody for joining, and please suggest if some scheme you want me to cover, and we'll come again with another scheme. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.